What are you laughing at? Are you coughing?
What is a power hour? What's a Zoom? I was trying to ask if they wanted to do a power hour.
Hello. Gonna give it a minute. You know, make sure I'm doing this right. Since I'm like really bad at being able to see comments and stuff in live videos. I was gonna make a Pop-Tart while I did this. I decided not to because I figured y'all wouldn't want to watch me eat. Okay, folks. So I don't know if anyone's gonna pop on while I'm doing this, but not only is it gonna be saved to the team page, but I'm gonna save it to my iPad and post it to my YouTube channel so it can be sent out and saved later on as well. But feel free, if you are on, to go ahead and tag your downlines, tag your team members, tag people that you want on your team to see this. This is just gonna be a little bit of talk about social media for those of you that I talked about earlier in my post who specifically want to work your business on social media. Those of you who are willing to basically relearn how to run your Facebook, your Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, you know, whatever you're using. This is for those of you who are willing to change your habits and learn how to run your business on your pages while still making it your page. One of the biggest questions I usually have when people sign up is they ask, you know, should I make a business page? Should I make a like page or things like that? And I always say no, because you don't want people to forget that you're a person too. And you don't want them to just solely associate you as a salesperson. You want them to know, like, I have kids, I have a husband or a wife or dogs, or I travel, or, you know, whatever it is that you do too. You want them to know you're a real person, not just somebody who's trying to, you know, get their money. So this video is for those of you who want to solely work your business on social media. We're gonna talk about some things. Hi, Kimber, I see you. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna talk about is the 3x3 rule. Now, this is a post that I have saved on the team page that I usually like to tag everybody in when they sign up, but in case you haven't seen it, in case you haven't heard about it, let me explain what it is. The 3x3 rule is something that I learned halfway through my business. I've been in It Works for almost 4 years, and I hadn't even heard of this until about 2 years in. Didn't apply it to my own Facebook until the year I went double, and I solely believe it helped me go double diamond. What it is it's a posting rule. And what 3x3 means is for every 3 personal posts you do a day, you need to have 3 It Works posts in there as well. And you don't want them all, you know, back to back to back. You want them spread out. So in the morning, if you're going to do a personal post about taking your kids to school, then your next post needs to be about It Works. And in the afternoon, you know, if you do a personal post or you share it, or you know, put a quote up or anything like that, then your next post needs to be It Works. And lastly, for the afternoon and evening, 3 personal posts for 3 It Works posts. That way people still see you as a person, but they're also not forgetting that you do have products, you are part of a business, things like that. Emma's here and she's just smiling at me in the background. I think it's the first time I've ever done a live video in front of someone. I don't do them.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm always in them.
Yep, usually. But even before you, I would like go hide in my car. I don't do them in front of people. Okay. I strongly recommend the 3x3 rule, especially for new distributors, because you don't want to bombard your Facebook with only It Works posts. You don't want people to, as I said earlier, solely see you as just a salesperson. You want them to remember you have your own personal life and you're a real person with things to talk about too. But the biggest factor of why people get so frustrated when they're in the beginning is because they think that no one pays attention to their It Works posts, or people forget that they're a part of It Works, so on and so forth. So if you're maintaining an aggressive schedule for your posts, people notice that. It doesn't go unnoticed, and it builds your Facebook algorithm. So that's the 3x3 rule. Next thing I want to talk about is something I kind of just made up a little bit ago. Because it's something I try to talk to everybody about when they tell me, you know, that they want to work their business on social media. And if I see your posts or pay attention to your Facebook, it's something I try to talk to you about, but I just came up with a little name for it. I'm going to call it the 3 S's. This is something I don't want you to do. Stop sharing shit. Stop doing it. Because it messes up your whole page. 1, it's not pretty. It doesn't make your Facebook look good. 2, when you see something that you want to share, you are building somebody else's Facebook page or that post or whatever else. You know, somebody put that video up, somebody put that quote up. And the more times you share it, the more you're building their page. Now, you want people to do that for you. So if you see a quote or a meme that is funny to you, either save it to your phone, or you could do what Emma was just talking to me about a little bit ago, which is if it's a quote or if it's just something you can type out yourself, make it your own status, make it public, and then other people will share that. Same goes if you like a picture and you just save it to your phone and you post it and you make it public and other people share that, then they are building your Facebook page. And the more people that see it, the more people that share it, the more people are being brought back to your Facebook. If I occasionally share something, it's usually something that can't be saved to my phone, like a movie I want to go see, or you know, a concert that's going on or something like that. But I try to keep my shares very minimal because I think a lot of, you know, the diamond and above leaders do all the same thing, where we try to keep our Facebook clean and attractive to the naked eye. And when you share something, it just doesn't make your Facebook timeline look pretty. Hi. My son just woke up from his nap. I've got a new movie on. Ask Emma to turn it up for you. Just go sit down. My kids are like not alive when they first wake up. We got some time before my daughter wakes up. Okay. You just need to turn it up with the little volume remote, or just on the sound bar, press the up. Okay. Gotta love the power of live videos. Can't pause them. So yeah, stop sharing stuff. It messes up your Facebook algorithm every single time that you do it, because if you go and you put a status up, and I'm going to talk about Facebook algorithm in just a minute, but if you go and you put a status up and then 10 minutes later you go and you share something, no one's going to see that status because you're doing it side by side. That leads me into the next thing I want to talk about, which is posting times. I learned this right about the same time that I learned to start actively using the 3x3 rule. And this is, there are certain times that are better for posts. Like, you know, they're going to bring you more likes, more views, versus other times. 2 a.m., not a great time. 2 a.m. on a Monday night, not a good time at all. But 7 a.m. on a Monday, when people are up and going to work, or up with their kids, or at a traffic stop, you know, or just clocking in, that is a good time because people are scrolling through their Facebook. That's a perfect time for a good morning post, or, you know, an attractive picture about greens in your coffee, you know, things like that. Something positive to start the day. However, when you are picking posting times, Facebook has an algorithm now, which means that they kind of control who sees your posts and who doesn't, as in your audience size. And if you post something at 7 and then you want to go post something else at 7:15 or 7:30, no one is going to see either of those posts because you're doing too many posts back to back. You need to spread them out. So I have learned not to do more than one post every 2 to 3 hours. And that's hard sometimes when stuff is going on or you want to share, more than one picture. I was just on family vacation and I wanted to be on Facebook all day, putting pictures up or doing videos, but I knew if I did that, no one would see them. So I picked my times. So what I like to do is a morning post, lunchtime post, because on lunchtime, everyone is on their phone. Everyone is on Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat because they're either on lunch break or their kids are taking a nap or they themselves are sitting down to eat lunch. So it's just a good time for people to be on Facebook. Then I like to do a mid-afternoon post and then an evening post. And sometimes I even do 2 evening posts, one around dinner time and then one around 9 o'clock at night when kids are in bed and parents are relaxing, or you're home from the day, or they're home for the day and they're relaxing and all they're doing is sitting there on Facebook scrolling. And so they're going to see your posts throughout the day, especially one that you're just now putting up if you haven't been blowing up your news feed all afternoon. So that takes me back to sharing. If you are trying to post and then you try to share, no one's going to see your post. So stop it. So the Facebook algorithm is something good to learn for those of you who, like I said at the beginning of this, are solely wanting to work your business from social media, because you need to know what posts are going to get views and what posts aren't if you're not posting in the right order necessarily, if you're posting too much, if that makes sense, if what I'm saying makes sense. Okay. And then my final thing I want to talk about, and I think I'm making really good time because I didn't want this to be super long. Pause. Okay. My last point that I wanted to talk about is something I address in almost all of my videos that has anything to do with social media. So of course I'm going to add it into my social media training. You absolutely cannot have any negativity being posted. Let me say it again for the people in the back. Like, stop. People are drawn to positivity. Everyone has drama. Everyone has things go wrong. They don't necessarily want to see somebody else who's always talking about what is going wrong in their life. They want something that makes them feel good deep down. When you're down in the dumps and you get on Facebook or Pinterest or Snapchat and you see something that kind of picks you up, kind of motivates you, that's the stuff you save to your phone. That's the stuff that kind of makes you feel a little bit better. And if you are being that on social media for someone else, they pay more attention to your Facebook, to your Snapchat, to your Instagram, to your Twitter. You have to be that positive feature to draw people in. That's why you'll see myself, a lot of the diamonds on the page, Emma, Mary, a lot of people who have been in this business a lot. We post quotes pretty often, and we make sure, I have the hiccups. We make sure that they are positive and uplifting quotes that make you feel good about yourself, quotes that make you feel strong, quotes or just funny stuff that makes you laugh, because that's not only going to be the stuff that gets more likes, which builds your Facebook algorithm, but it also is the stuff that's going to get more shares, that's going to bring more people in to message you. They're going to be the ones telling you that you bring them up when they're feeling down, things like that. Once again, showing people that you're not just a salesperson. So when something bad is going on, believe me when I say, I know how hard it is to not talk about it on social media in 2017.
Not everyone has an Emma that yells at them when they try to.
Correct. For those of you who didn't just hear what she said, not everyone has an Emma who yells at them when they try to. Let me talk about for just a minute. I signed up in 2013. And please, no one do this, but if you bothered to scroll back to my Facebook in 2011 and 2012, you literally wouldn't even recognize the person on my Facebook. I posted everything. any fight I got into with a friend, any major bad thing that happened in my marriage, you know, every time I got cheated on, every time I got in a fight with my parents, any bad thing that happened to me, I let everyone know about it. And let me tell you how many people deleted me, didn't want to be on my Facebook, constantly thought that I was nothing but drama, because that's all I talked about. And nobody wants to pay attention to just that. And as soon as I got into this business, it was basically overnight. I knew, because I did a lot of research about It Works before I joined. So I watched a lot of YouTube videos from presidentials and ambassadors, and I looked at their Facebooks and I was like, wow. And under no circumstances would they be caught dead posting what I was posting. And so pretty much overnight, I knew that if I was going to run a business on my Facebook, I couldn't be talking like that. I couldn't be posting that kind of stuff. Thanks. It's wet, so I keep scrunching it. But by keeping your Facebook, your Instagram, your Twitter, your Pinterest, I know I'm missing one, Snapchat positive, you are drawing people into you. You're drawing people into your life. And let me tell you, I still struggle with it. You all know I just went through a divorce. And if you would go look at my Snapchat, especially on a night that involved alcohol, it wasn't always good. But I have Emma to yell at me.
Be the person you needed.
Oh, that's a good quote. Emma just said, be the person that you needed. Be the person that, you know, when you're going through a hard time, you needed to build you up and remind you to come above it. And here's what I tell everyone now that I've been in this for several years and I've seen the difference between putting it all out there versus not. What's more important to you? Your entire Facebook knowing your drama and the bad stuff in your life, or the paycheck that's going to pay your bills? Because if you can't walk into a 9-to-5 and yell at all the customers in there, or your boss, or over the phone, or, you know, whatever the job may be, if you can't walk into a 9-to-5 yelling about the fight you just had with your ex, or the drama with your friends or your parents or your family, or anything like that, if you can't be doing that at a 9-to-5 job, why in the world would you want to do it where you're supposed to be building a paycheck at? It's a good thought. Plus, this is why, you know, I said that this training is solely for people who are willing to make the sacrifices on their Facebook. You all are going to be the ones who are building up a reputation on social media. You want people to share your posts. You want to build your audience. You want more people to add you. And you want to get to that limit to where you hit the 5,000 friend mark. So people have to start following you to see your posts. Because the bigger audience you have on Facebook, the more people are going to see when you post about a product, or about your business, or about your paycheck, or about your results with a product, or whatever it's going to be. And that builds your business. And people pay attention to positivity. They don't, I mean, yeah, people pay attention to negativity too sometimes. But those kind of people, the people who want to be a part of it and just want to be nosy or want to give you their 2 cents, they're not the people that are going to build your business. So when something bad is going on in your life, here's something I learned from Emma, actually. What I like to do now is I like to find a quote that makes me feel better in that situation. Or a song, or a picture. And I like to put something motivational out there for me. You know, when I was going through my divorce, it was becoming a stronger woman. And when my kids were sick or something bad was going on with them, it was about being a strong mother. You know, and so on and so forth. What I do is I find a quote that makes me feel better, and that's what I post. And let me tell you how much that builds my audience. A lot. So, for those of you who want to focus on building a large Facebook audience and getting a lot of Facebook friends and having a lot of Snapchat followers and getting a lot of Instagram followers so that you can have a large social media audience. This is for you. These are the things you need to do. The 3x3 rule, the stop sharing, the watching how often you post and what times you're posting, and constantly being positive, even when you don't want to be. There are so many times that I don't want to be positive on Facebook, but you have to if you want a paycheck. And that's what you need to make the priority. Not only your paycheck, but the depth of your team and the people who follow you and them relying on you to be a positive role model for them. I can't even tell you how many women have come to me and told me that I was so inspiring and I helped them through their emotional distress or marriage or divorce or co-parenting issues. And I just kind of laughed because if they knew, everything that was going on in my personal life, they wouldn't pick me as a role model. But because I kept it positive on my Facebook, that's what they see and that's what they needed. And that's what I became for them. And so they pay more attention to my posts. They share them. They like them, which builds my algorithm, which builds my audience. So, is there anything else I should be adding? Thank you.
Stop copying and pasting.
Oh, that's a good one. Stop copy and pasting. Now, for a lot of you who are new, we tell you to follow the leaders in the company, people who are higher up, presidentials, ambassadors, and stuff like that. Look and see what they post and copy it. However, every single time that you copy and straight paste that post, it completely messes up your Facebook algorithm because Facebook recognizes that all these other people have done that post too, and they shut down your audience. And you may think that just no one is seeing that post or no one likes that post or whatever else. But the truth of it is, Facebook has basically just canceled out anyone from seeing it. So you have to edit posts. If you like it a lot, you can copy it, but before you paste it, take parts out, put different stuff in, word it to be just yours, even if it's a little bit, because Facebook won't ruin it that way. And plus, people will pay more attention if they think the post is coming directly from you. That's a really good point. Anything else?
Well, and also just with that, you're not the only It Works distributor on someone's timeline. So if you're posting the same thing the other person's posting, you have to set yourself apart. You have to make it so that they want to be with you.
Yeah.
And they're going to know if you're just copying and pasting something because it's on their newsfeed.
Because it's on their newsfeed 700 times. Yeah.
And they're going to sign with the person who's different and who they relate to.
Yeah, that's a very good point. You couldn't hear her. She made a point that, you're not going to be the only distributor, especially the only It Works distributor on someone's Facebook. And so if they see the same post 4 different times, all you're going to look like is someone who blends in with the crowd. You want to stand out. You want to be the post that's different. And you want to make it known that you're not just following the herd, if that makes sense. That you're someone they themselves can relate to. I think I hear my daughter running upstairs. Yep. Here she comes. Give me 1 second. Hi, baby. Coda's watching a new movie. If you want to go watch it with him. Not. Oh, wait. Yeah, she was sweating. She hides under the covers. Okay. I think that's about everything I wanted to talk about. I think I said this several times, but I'll just reiterate it. These are the things I want you to do if you are someone who wants to build your business from the internet, which, let's face it, is a wide open market. It Works distributes in 21 other countries besides the US and in all 50 states. We ship directly to their house, no matter if they're a brand new distributor or customer. So I can't even tell you how many people I have signed up to join my team and how many customers I have signed up that I have never met and will never meet. But I have a relationship with them from our connection on social media. I can have customers in a completely different state, and I can have customers in a completely different country because of our wide base. And if you're working your business on something as wide as Facebook or Instagram, that means you can have customers and distributors all over the world. So living in a small town is no longer an excuse. Never being able to leave the house, no longer an excuse. You know, if you want to build it from your social media, this is your chance. I think I'm done. Bye.